What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, the adult commentary. I think Kirkion played. Oh, he plays S Knights. My mistake. I thought he played. I totally thought that he played Cleese. 1470, Jack 009, 1501. Didn't open that optimally because I mean, anytime you open with Maxx is really good, but if you have to summon Unu instead of a S Knight, it's not that great. If he doesn't attack, okay, I was gonna say if you don't attack, I'm just gonna stop recording the match because I've just at that point I don't think you know what the fuck you're doing. So he attacks tour guide. I mean, you always attack the tour guide because if you don't, your opponent just makes Dante for free. And then what did you do with your Maxx? You just didn't do anything. All right, so he normals Graft, and looks like he's gonna XC. Obviously doesn't have a Fire Lake, otherwise he'd have burnt that shit. I would have anyway. So he's gonna go 3 deep. I guess he's telling him that he's gonna go 3. And Farfa, Snatch Steal, Foolish. I think if I got Farfa there, I wouldn't really care, because if I'm Jack, I don't even think I would use Farfa, because do you really want the S Knight player to still have a monster on board? Because if they call the Haunted you during the end phase, now they get a rank 4. Versus you just being able to kill the Unu. So he's not going to activate it. Like, yeah, I don't think that activating the Farfa there would be a good play. I'd rather just take my chances attacking. He gets like, as long as you can make double Dante, you're in a much better position. Unless they play D-Prison. If they play D-Prison, then you're fucked. Okay, so fair enough. He takes the attacks. I'm really trying to wonder what those back row are. If you, like, they have to be called the Haunted / alright, there's a call the Haunted. Now, he could still, if he has Fire Lake, he's still good. But if he has Alpha Nova, then, if he has Alpha Nova, there should be no way that, that S Knight player loses. It's not possible. He shouldn't lose. If he has Fire Lake, then, you know, shit is what it is. If you don't have Alpha Nova. But if he has Alpha Nova, you should just win. So he goes Vega. It's going to activate the effect. No, he might have Altair. He has Altair. Altar, dude. It's going to chain. Mystical Space Typhoon. A blind MST. Solemn Warning. Okay. I guess maybe he can use Fire Lake now and not have to worry about anything. He does have Fire Lake. Let's see if he has Alpha Nova. If he has Alpha Nova, he'll lose. It's not even a question. So he's going to activate Unu effect. Yeah, okay, it's game. He has Alpha Nova. Good game. He'll make Trevor, and then Burning Abyss can't beat Trevor. It's just not possible. Unless they have Farfa. Farfa is the only way that they beat Trevor. Well, I say that, you guys are probably just like, shut up, G. I say that because you don't just make Trevor. You make Trevor, and then you make Diamond, and then you win. He'll get Call the Haunted back. He'll have, I guess, a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the Fire Lake. Oh, he doesn't go for Trevor. Damn it, that keeps happening at the most inopportune times. So he's going to attack. Fair enough. And then he sets 2. Okay. I think he has Altair in his hand too. He activates Soul Charge. And he Alpha Novas that. And then he gets that scoop phase. I guess Jack, well, he had 2 cards and, I mean, no, he had 3 cards in his hand and one of them was Fire Lake. And I guess he just didn't have, he probably had 1 monster, but I guess he just didn't have, another monster to use Fire Lake with. And even if he Yeah, if you just have one monster, then obviously you lose. If you have two monsters, you can't exceed, because if you exceed, then you can't Fire Lake then. Like if you make Dante, you're not going to get any of your effects because he's just going to use Abyss Dweller, and then you get Trevor and lose. So yeah, there was no way out of that situation. I guess not making Trevor was the better play. Fair enough. I'm so stupid for that card. Anytime I can summon Trevor, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I got to summon that. So that was game one. Maxi came in handy. Some people play Maxi and Sertalonite. Some people don't. I run two of them in the main deck. It sucks when you play against Cleaves because a lot of times you're not going to get any value out of that card. But when you play against the Mirror Match, or when you play against Shadows, or when you play against Burning Abyss, you get tons and tons and tons of value, especially if your opponent does this. Oh my god, it's so good. So he draws one, he activates Majesty's Fiend. Alright, so here's the thing about Majesty's Fiend. Not to sound like I've got on the Sertalonite pom-poms. It's not a good card against them. It just isn't. I say that because Sertalonites play Battle Traps, and they don't side them out. They play D-Prison. Some people play Mirror Force. I don't like Mirror Force and Sertalos. And then some people play Fiendish Chain. Well, everybody plays Fiendish Chain because of Trevor. So, if you summon Vanity's Fiend, you pretty much have to attack. I mean, I guess he's just going to say, I'm just going to sit with Vanity's Fiend and not do anything. But then, people play Regeki. People play Book of Moon. So, those are also cards. Looks like he's going to Rhoda. I think he's just trying to thin his deck out. Then the other reason I don't like Vanity's Fiend is, as a Burning Abyss player, once you drop it, you can't advance your game state. It used to be good previously. Oh, well, he's got breakthrough skill. He has the fucking outs. It used to be good previously, in my opinion, because people didn't play, like, Battle Traps. You know what I mean? But against Sertalonites, like, Sertalonites don't side out. They don't side out D-Prison when they play Burning Abyss because D-Prison is good against Dante. They don't side out Fiendish Chains ever because Trevor can bounce it. Now, this guy, unfortunately for Jack 09, he plays Breakthrough Skill, which is even, that makes Majesty's Fiend, like, infinitely worse. So, he has Altair. Looks like he's just gonna spin it. Okay. So, Castel gets spun. It's not the worst thing ever because, yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. Mainly because he was able to get to his Altair, and whatever Jack 09 searches, he can't summon it. So, yeah. And then next turn, he'll obviously just make another Castel using the Breakthrough in his graveyard. So he's able to activate his effect, but whatever he gets, it doesn't matter. He can't summon it. I mean, he can, I guess technically he can summon Tour Guide and just get no effect and have a 1000 beater, but that doesn't make any sense. So he's just going to attack. And I fully expect him to use Breakthrough Skill now and then go Altair. And from there he might, well, probably just summon the Castel that he just bounced back to his grave, or his extra deck and just resummon it. Even if he was only playing one Castel, he could just resummon that same Castel. Now Jack is okay. So he was obviously trying to go for Trevor there, and now he's gonna probably not be able to use Trevor. Nope. Yeah, if he would have let that Call of the Haunted go, it would have been really bad for him because he would have went Trevor. He'd have sniped the card out of his hand, and he would have been able to get Call of the Haunted back, and that probably would have been a wrap. Instead, he is able to keep a Tour Guide, 3 cards. He's not in the worst position ever. Now he can't attack because he used Altair's effect. So he just has to set and pass. Yeah, the Burning Abyss player is not in the worst. He is neg 2 currently. He really needs this Tour Guide to go through. And unfortunately, he gets Maxx Seeds, which means either you give your opponent a bunch of cards, I think you may have to give him the cards at this point. Because either your tour guide's gonna die, and then whatever the fuck you summon is just gonna get, that shit's gonna get cast out too. So he goes for grab. Like, yeah, most S-Knight players play double Castel, so you don't want your shit getting spun too. So I think you have to draw and just give him the cards for Dante. Now, for some reason, Kirkion's not summoning or drawing. Yeah, I was about to say you should draw two. He mills Majesty's Fiend, a Graft, and an MST. Oh, that sucks. Okay, he's going for the Graft. So now he's going. I guess this is technically YOLO. The only way I think I would summon is if I had Fire Lake. He goes for Farfa. Actually, no, because Farfa outs Trevor. So now he goes 2 more draws. If you can't game your opponent, though, what are you doing? But he could possibly game him here. If those aren't real cards, he can use Farfa, and then he could just, oh wow, he hit the Sir. Yeah, he could game him. If he just summons some random shit from his graveyard and then attacks. Because he would have 5,000 on board plus like Sir to get Sir. Well, 6,000 on board now, so yeah. So let's see if Kirkion actually played some real back row. If he gets gamed here, he should honestly just blame himself. I know sack happens, but yeah. You should never have that many back row set and have no cards. And you see that Jack instantly admits defeat because he gave his opponent 57 cards in hand and he wasn't able to game him. He was honestly just going to go off the Oasis. He was going to get Altair. Then he was going to get Deneb, and Deneb probably was going to get Vega at that point. And he'd be able to absorb 2 attacks, and then he'd be able to just Trevor him, and that's just a wrap from there. Even if he went for downards, you Trevor those the whole field away, and then you just make Constellar Diamond, and I mean you have all the resources that you need. With this many cards in hand, 90% chance, well not 90, I don't know what the odds are, but chances are you have an Alpha Nova too, so your opponent is stunned. They can't really do anything. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always.